I'm Ted of Rockin' Barbecue. Today, we're going to talk about starting and managing a fire in an offset smoker. When maintaining temperatures and managing a fire, there are several things that go into effect. Several things that you have to think about. Number one is your climate. Is it cool or hot? Is it humid or dry? These things do affect how you manage a fire. Also, the cooker that you're using. How thick is the steel? How big is the smoke chamber? These affect it also. Then is the size of your splits. What size split does your smoker use best? To find this out, you just have to experiment. You have to find out what size splits work best for your cooker to get the very best results. This Old Country Brazos offset smoker likes this size split, about 12 to 14 inches by 2 to 3 by 2 to 3. Let's get this fire built and let's get this demonstration on. There are several methods to start a fire. The one that I like to use is using a charcoal starter, a chimney, and lump charcoal. The fire starters that I like to use are all natural. This bottom one, these are made from beeswax and sawdust. They're difficult to start, but they burn for a very long time. This one is also made from beeswax, but it's made from wood slivers. This one starts right away, but it doesn't burn very long. To get it started, I'll put 4 of the larger pieces on the bottom, and then I'll put the tumbleweed on top. The tumbleweed will ignite the others. After getting that fire started, I'll fill a chimney full of natural lump charcoal. What I like to use is B&B. You can find natural lump charcoals by various manufacturers, and you can find them in just about any hardware or grocery store. Now I'll get this chimney and I'll set it on top of the starters to get that charcoal burning. One method for starting a fire that I don't ascribe to and I don't use is using lighter fluid. Number one, it can leave taste in your food, plus it can actually poison your food. So I don't use that method. Another method to starting a fire is using a barbecue torch. It's very effective and very quick. I don't have one, so this is the method that I use. I may get one in the future, but for now, I like doing it this way. It takes about 10 minutes for the charcoal to get lit really well. Once you see flames coming out of it and some white edges on the charcoal on top, it's ready to go. We'll pour this in the bottom of the fire pit on the smoker. Once that charcoal is in the firebox, you can take 2 pieces, whatever wood you prefer to smoke with, and we're going to build what's called a log cabin stack over that charcoal. We'll put 2 pieces. They will be parallel to each other, pointed at the fire door. And then we'll take 2 more pieces and we'll stack them across these 2 pieces just like this. This allows airflow to get under and between the logs, and it helps get that fire going. This will establish your coal bed. After we get the splits stacked inside the firebox, I'm going to open the door slightly and I will open up the damper all the way. This will allow plenty of oxygen to get into the fire. And we're going to let this fire get going really well. Then we're going to close it down in order to warm the smoker up to the temperatures that we're going to want to cook at. That fire is burning very well. So now we're going to go ahead and close the firebox up to get the cooking chamber up to temperature to cook at. Now on top of the smokestack, we're going to open this damper all the way. This will give us good airflow and draw in order to build the temperatures in the cooking chamber. While that fire is cleaning up and heating up the cooking chamber to the cooking temperature we want, what we need to do is preheat some more wood. I'll take 2 pieces of wood and I'll put them on top of the firebox on the warming tray. And what that's going to do is it's going to dry that wood out. We want that wood to be below 15% moisture content. This helps us get there. It also heats that wood up. Whenever we put that wood on the fire, it will ignite immediately and it'll help us to maintain the coal bed. When we put that dry, hot wood on that fire to maintain that coal bed, it'll ignite immediately. What this is going to do is it's going to help that fire burn cleaner, so it'll give us cleaner smoke. It'll also help to maintain temperatures, as it will keep the temperature very close to what we're trying to cook at. When you start a cook on an offset smoker, low and slow is the way to go, especially for the first few hours. You want plenty of good smoke penetration into that meat. You want to start between 200 and 225 degrees. So that's what we're preheating this smoker to. And you can see right now, it's right at 225 degrees. This is a preheated smoker. The smoke is cleaning up. We have a nice white bluish smoke. This is what we want to see when we're cooking food in an offset smoker. Clean, efficient fire and smoke. When you're cooking food, you want clean blue smoke, and that's what we have. When it's like this, what that means is you have a very efficient fire. That means higher temperatures in the cooking chamber. Well, how do you control that? The smokestack has a damper on top of it. When it's fully opened, it's going to allow full flow through the cooking chamber. When you have plenty of oxygen coming in, that's going to give you a clean burning fire. It's going to be a hotter burning, and it's going to go through the smoke chamber and out the smokestack. The taller the smokestack, the more draw and the more efficient your fire will be. Your temperatures will go up because of that. How do you control it? You close the damper. The further the damper is closed, the lower the temperatures. Fully open will have higher temperatures. We're going to take it down to about 75% closed, leave it about 25% open. This will help us get back to the temperatures that we want to be cooking at, which is between 200 and 225 degrees. Now doing that brought it back down to around 225, which is where we want to be. The next step in cooking is adding wood. When we see that temperature start to drop, it'll drop about 5 to 10 degrees. That's what we're looking for. We need to check the fire at that time and see if it's time to add wood. When that temperature starts falling below 225 degrees, getting closer to 200, we'll go ahead and look at the fire and see if we need to add wood. Yes, taking a look at it, we've got a very well established coal bed. We'll move things around in here so that that fire will burn efficiently. Get a couple of pieces over here. Now, in order to keep maintaining that 225 degree temperature, we don't want to put as much wood in it. Later on, we'll put a little bit more wood in it in order to bump the temperatures up. But what we want to be looking at now is 200 to 225. And the best way to do that is to add one piece of wood. And like you saw, I got that coal bed reorganized. I'm going to put it this way. That way it's pointing at the door. The airflow will come in, go across the wood, and help it ignite. And this is what you really want to see. Once you put that wood in there, because it's preheated and the wood has dried out and it's gotten very hot, it ignites right away. That's going to keep a clean burning fire and clean smoke. And it'll also help maintain temperatures in the cook chamber. When you add that fresh piece of wood to the fire, the temperature is going to climb. It will go slightly over your target temperature. That's to be expected, but as that wood burns and the fire cleans up, that temperature will get back down to your target temperature. You take a look, we're sitting at about 250 degrees. It will settle back down to about 225 degrees in about 10 to 15 minutes. This is perfectly normal and it's absolutely okay. After a little bit, the fire will settle in and that temperature will get back to about 225 degrees. And this is where we want to cook at for the first 3 or 4 hours of the cook. The reason for that is because that's whenever your meat absorbs the most flavor and the most smoke. And that's when your smoke ring is developing, that first 3 to 4 hours. This is the best time to cook between 200 and 225 degrees. This is called low and slow cooking. Now, after that, it's time to get those temperatures up a little bit. This is to move the cook along and get you through the stall, and it also helps to finish the cook. So, to bump the temperatures up, you'll open the baffle a little bit on top of that smokestack. You'll need to crack that damper a little bit more, about 50%, and you add one more piece of wood to the fire. Instead of one, we'll add two. That'll bump the temperatures up to between 250 and 275, which is the next step in where we will want to be cooking at. We'll open the smokestack damper to about 50%. This is the first step, and that will help us get the temperatures up. The other is adding two pieces of wood instead of one. We'll reorganize this coal bed because I do like to use what's called a partial log cabin stack. Get that charcoal bed built up. Make sure everything is nice inside that firebox, and then we'll put two pieces of wood over this piece that we put closer to the firebox. And again, those will be pointed at and directed towards the door on the firebox. This allows air to get inside there and keep circulating between those two pieces of wood in order to keep a clean burning fire. This will help elevate the temperature to what we're looking for, and that's between 250 and 275 degrees. Opening the damper and adding two pieces of wood to the fire got us to our target temperature of 275 degrees. This is where we're going to cook at for the rest of this cook. Again, I'm going to put two more pieces of wood on top of the firebox to preheat those. This will finish it up, and this is how I manage a fire. There are other techniques. A lot of people have different ways. This is just how I do it. It works for me, and it works really well in this Brazos offset smoker.